felt like forever. I mean, it really did. There was no time discernment, only that everything felt good, euphoric. You felt real light and like a feather, and you felt loved, and um, it was beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
My guest today is Rebecca Bystrom. Rebecca went skiing in 1986 and she had a ski accident on the last run of the day. And she's here to tell us about her near death experience. Welcome, Rebecca. I'm so glad to have you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
For sure. It's my honor. And so you were skiing in 1986. Your dad gave you a thumbs up, told you go ahead and go. It was the last run of the day, and you had an accident where you died. Can you tell
Yeah.
us? Can you tell us about your experience that happened?
Yes, at the time I was 5 years old. As a kid, you don't ever want your ski day to end. And so I asked permission to go one more time as my dad was finishing up his shift. He said, go ahead. I was skiing with a girlfriend of mine. We had created a little skittle trail through the woods. I don't think it was illegal to ski through the woods in 1986. So we thought we were cool, trailblazing a new path. Um, and we wanted to go do it again because it was really fun. And so I didn't quite understand, I guess the implications of all of this, but it's really neat to look back and reflect on this story. Um, we put down these little skittles so that we remembered which path we took, and we knew it was a really fun one because it had hills and swoops and we could go real fast. And that was always my favorite thing to do as a kid, was ski real fast. Um, So we hit the trail and we were skiing real fast through the swoops and hoops. And I remember looking down at my skittles and watched. My skis kept going straight, and hugged a tree. The skittle trail veered left. I did not. I hit that tree dead on. At 1986, helmets were not a thing. So I was without a helmet. I think I had a little bunny hat on at the time. Um, And so I hit the tree, and all I remember at that point, when I look back and reflect on it, is the in and out of consciousness. I remember going out of consciousness and laying under the tree and looking at everything swirling above me. And then I remember coming to and hearing the voices shouting for help, and my girlfriend looking for help, and getting everybody to the ski hill so that they could get me out of the woods. Um, the toboggan ride down was very intense. I can say I had a splitting headache. um, I remember again at that point going kind of in and out of consciousness. So it wasn't at that point that I died, but I do know I could um, in and out of body experience, I think would be a safe thing to say. I kept going up. I felt like going up into the sky or into the stars, and feeling hugged and loved and surrounded. And then I'd come right back down to my body, and I was in a sled and vibrating and shaking and bouncing and wondering what the heck is going on. They got me down to the bottom of the hill, and they readjusted and realized that I need more help. So they brought in the helicopter, and I got loaded onto an airlink. Uh, I think it was at that point again in and out of consciousness. When I arrived at the hospital in the cities, they decided they needed to do a CAT scan. And it was at that point they didn't realize, the doctors in the med team did not realize that I was anaphylactic to the IVP contrast dye. So in reality, it was the CAT scan and the contrast dye to figure out what was going on was what killed me. They injected me with the dye, and at that point, that's when I disappeared. I remember feeling like I got sucked up. I was sitting, I remember watching a medical team in the side of the hospital room, working on a body. It was me. And then I remember going up even higher. I went back up to a tree. And that's where I'm going to say heavenly. I don't think that there's any earthly words that can fully describe the sensory that happened. It was all encompassing. It was warm. It was ethereal. It was surreal. I'm going to say glowy. Yes, there was a big tree, you know, a big tree involved. I can say there was dozens of angels surrounding all of us. And as my 5-year-old mind would say, I sat next to Jesus. There was a male figure that sat next to me and kept me comfort and calm while all of this was happening on my body back earthside. Um, so I do remember, I mean, it didn't last very long. I think I was pronounced dead for less than 3 minutes. The doctor team had revitalized me, and I remember coming back down through like the hospital light, and then I remember waking up in my body. Um, I can say the first thing out of my body at that age was, "Where are my earrings?" The doctor team had to take all my newly pierced earrings out because, you can't have that when you're getting scanned. So that was a big deal. It was at that point my mom realized that, she's back. My daughter's back. Um, so that was kind of the accident and the baseline from it. Excuse me. Ooh, I still get emotional.
Yeah. It was an intense experience, and
uh,
I want to thank you very much for sharing it with us.
Thank you. I think I'm still processing a lot of that. I can honestly say it's been 37 years of homeschooling myself on how to heal from this type of trauma. Um, at 5, you don't realize the implications that it has. Ooh. And then growing up, knowing that you had a connection to a source much bigger than you, you can't explain that. There's no words that can come together.
While you were there on the other side, you said there was a male figure sitting with you and possibly Jesus.
The male figure was, and I'm not going to say it, he doesn't look like the iconic Jesus. It was more of a masculine style, bright white, yellow, glowy figure. Um, Ghost like. Like I said, it's hard to pinpoint who it was, but it was a very prominent male figure. My little girl self says it was Jesus because that's what I was raised in the Christian belief. My adult self says, that was Gus. That's our God universe spirit who was there, that all encompassing father that just sat with me and just kept me comforted, reassured me it wasn't my time to go, and then made sure I was safe coming back.
Did you feel like this male figure was familiar to you while you were there?
Very much familiar. I was not afraid at all. I just wanted to sit with that person under the tree. I didn't want to come back.
Were you given a choice to come back, or were you told it was your time to go back?
I don't think I was given a choice. I mean, there was no talking. Um, I've gone back and did a lot of regressions, just trying to remember through hypnotherapy exactly what happened and pull things out. It's interesting little bits that come out throughout the years of my life. I've never revealed everything. Um, I could just keep being able to pull out little nuggets. Um, yeah, I did not get a choice on whether I wanted to come back. However, when I was there, I was shown everything, the beginning of the earth to the end of the earth. I mean, I was showing how it's going to start, how it's going to end, and everything in between. Um, that's a lot. That's a lot of info for a kid to take and process and understand. Um, and I can say that information came out, in my 20s or so. My family really called me a conspiracy theorist because, that's I knew what was happening and I was able to predict things, 6 months to a year before they even happened. And then they'd look at me and go, "How'd you know?" I just knew it was going to happen. I just knew. I don't know. I don't think much when I say things. I just and then it happens. All right, cool. No longer question.
You were blessed to be able to bring some information back with you. A lot of times that information is forgotten. So it's interesting that you were able to bring that and you can now know what's going to happen in the future, correct?
Yes, honestly, I think a lot of it was forgotten. I suppressed a lot of it. I grew up in a family that we don't talk about what happened. I was never given the opportunity to really discuss what happened. My mom often joked and said, I'm going to need a lot of therapy to be normal. And then I kind of joke and say, I don't want anybody to fix me because I'm me. I'm fine. I can fix myself. So that's where I come in and say that's my 37 years post accident. I'm 42 now. It's taken me 37 years of homeschooling myself and learning just things and putting it together and pulling those pieces and learning how to pull those strings and jump timelines and just crazy things. I have been committed for saying things by friends and family, um, only to say, no, you're not. You're perfectly normal. Yay. That's a great feeling.
We as a society have shunned spiritual experiences for a long time and it's been a little taboo, but we're getting to the point now where it's becoming more accepted and
Yeah,
people are sharing. And it's because of people like you that it is becoming more accepted. To share your story means a lot to me and to my viewers and to others who have had experiences and they can't explain it, or
sure.
maybe they're facing death or they're grieving the love their or the loss of a loved one. So these experiences really help a lot of people. So really thank you. Truly grateful for you sharing your story. You said you were being brought down the mountain on a sled
Yeah.
and you were in and out of consciousness and you would go up to where you were with other beings being held and loved and then back down. So were there multiple beings during this time?
It was different I'm gonna say different layers. I would go up a little bit and then I come back down. And then I go up a little bit higher, maybe I come back down. I sometimes only go up to the treetop. And some I'd like it's an angel like figure would sit with me up in the tree and I was watching them bring my body, down the hill. And then when I go back to my body, that's when I feel that pain. And so I don't know if I pushed myself up and then I go a little bit higher and someone else would meet me, and then back down. Um, yeah. Ooh, I've never, this is the first time I've really fully pulling it all together. I have notes and I have years of books, but to really spit this out verbally is, whoa, this is neat for me too.
Good. So were you
Healing, this is what has to happen.
were you actually on the physical plane? You said you went up to a treetop. Was it a physical tree or was it in like an astral dimension or another?
It felt more physical to me. It was that cross between here and there, but not here. I was still here because I could still see myself. I guess I didn't really think about my body. I was too busy watching what was happening, or the curiosity, confusion, what's going on. Um, yeah, it was here in the treetops. It wasn't until I know when we hit the bottom in the toboggan. I don't remember much once we hit the bottom, only that they needed the air link to get me to the hospital as fast as possible. So I don't remember the transition between here and the from the bottom of the hill to the hospital. That is a complete blur to me. And I don't know where I went at that point. That was probably the unconscious and just being held.
Do you feel like the time was different there than it was here? Because you said you were only pronounced dead for about 3 minutes. Did it feel like you were with this male figure for longer than that?
It felt like forever. I mean, it really did. There was no time discernment, only that everything felt good, euphoric. You felt real light and like a feather, and you felt loved, and um, it was beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
Were you given any gifts when you came back, besides the fact that you can now predict the future?
um, I think, ooh. I can't fully disclose all the gifts that have are really mine, only because I find that now that I'm more open, I'm gonna say wide open to anything. Um, m- I have a lot of kids, and when you have a lot of kids, we call it a house of fun house mirrors. Who are you? Who are you? Wait a minute, it's me. No, it's you. We joke because I don't know sometimes if it's their gifts coming back at me, you know what I mean? And I'm just picking up on some of their gifts, or if they're truly my gifts alone. Or if, together we all enhance all of those gifts, because I find that, the next generation, my children, wow. I mean, they've taught me everything I needed to know. But you have to really be watching and aware and listening and just learning with them. But we support understanding that, and that I think that's a gift in itself, is understanding where your gift is.
While you were over there, you were given a gift of knowing the past, present, and future.
Correct.
Were you given any other knowledge or information? Some people say that they knew everything.
I would say the gift in itself was a claircognizance, just a knowing of everything, the universal, how it started, to down to the galaxies and the meaning of the stars, to how the world might end. That was the biggest, I'm gonna say, unlocking of the mind, that knocked a few screws loose. Being able to tap into that open awareness, heightened sense, I'm gonna say heightened sensory. um, I live a very hyper color life. When I walk out, I see energies, I see colors, I call them my kaleidoscope eyes. I can read auras on people. Um, it's all very intoxicating and very overwhelming. And learning how to walk out of my own doors and being able to manage what's coming at me and what I'm sensing and processing all at once, um, has been a very interesting learning curve.
So when you are just walking down the street or you're out shopping or something like that, are you bombarded with information and colors and auras, or can you control it?
My past 15 years, I came out of a toxic marriage and divorce and all that baggage. Okay. Once I got myself to a clear head, um, I, I have spent the past 15 years trying to understand and control my own self, and understand my energetic, and how far can I stretch and how far can I come in. I call them my creative sit-ups. I like to really go out as far as I can, and I bring myself right back as tight as I can. So now, as I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with things in my own space when I go out in public, I can really try to call in the things that I'm going to need to get me to my next place that I want to go. It's kind of like a game of, I must say, skipping down the bunny trail looking for these little skittles and the light up path on where I'm going. Um, it's become a game.
A fun game, it sounds like.
I'm
An interesting one to
trying to
say the
contain
least.
myself here. Um, Sometimes I really do feel like a little kid, like, oh my God, I came, I found it. When you find whatever, it could be a number that just gave me that, that's what I've been waiting for. Um, it's silly things. And I jump up and down and I get really giddy like a kid, because I mean, that's my yay, I thank you. I received this and thank you. I see you and they see me, and I want to always live in that land of, being in that flow, because I'm always receptive to what is needed of me.
How has your near-death experience shaped your future?
Ooh, that's still to be determined. I feel like, I just am coming to this really cool tipping point where things are coming together. I've reached this new level of complete understanding, and then being able to control some of my gifts and use them for the good things. Um, I think I like to live wholeheartedly. It's all through here. Everywhere I go, I'm listening here. I don't listen here. I can see here and I can hear here. Um, but I like to see and feel here. And when it hits me here, then I know, okay, we're right where we need to be. I can feel when we're not. Hey, we need to go now. This isn't right. So just really living in that. I have created my businesses to adapt to I'm gonna say my limitations, maybe they're not my limitations. They're only because I let them be, um I adapted my work so that I can go out when I'm most effective, right? I need to a lot of downtime just so that I can prepare myself, and then when I do go out with people, I'm ready for you, I'm engaged, I'm there. So photography has been my creative outlet. That has been my 20 years or better. That's my site. I love to read people. I like to see people. I like to see those connections that are made. It's magic to me. I have really grown into weddings. I didn't know I'd love them as much as I did, but they supported me going through the divorce that I did. It was a 12-year, well, not that long, 7-year custody battle, and it was downright ugly. And so while through that, and with my 4 kids being a single mom, I still continued doing pictures at weddings. And that just made me happy because there's still love, despite all the toxic that goes on, there's still love, and there's still that, and everybody still has that, and everybody is deserving of that. Um, it was at COVID time, my new partner and I call him my soulmate. He's my twin flame. He is my better half. He might beg the other way, but I say it's him. But together we started Rusty Cello Yellow Chair, where we play rock music. I do cello is like the vocals and the lyrics, and he does the guitar, the rhythm guitar. So we have a lot of fun when we get to go out locally to the wineries and different breweries when we play out, and people go, "Wait a minute, that's like Gangsta Paradise on a cello." Yeah. It's really fun to hear people put that together. When you remove the lyrics from music, it gives it a totally different meaning. And I guess something that really was impressed on me at a very young age was music. And that's probably one of my gifts. It always has been a gift, is just being able to understand it upside down, inside out, and backwards. Um, I got really deep into tuning forks and understanding how to like adjust our chakras and frequencies, and balancing everything, and just becoming whole again by using, just frequencies and vibrations. Um, there's some pretty big power to that. The Egyptians used that way back when. So I look and go, wow, method to the madness. It works. Um, so I guess partnering the tuning forks with the cello, it kind of goes hand in hand, because the cello is in this really sweet frequency that is meant to heal your heart. And I always say the cello's been my heart, so it is my heartstrings, and when I play, it's always with love, and it's meant to send love to everybody. That's me in a nutshell.
My green screen is going wild behind me because of the sun. I'm sorry. I'm waiting for it to calm down.
Yeah, probably picking up on me because my heart's going.
It might be you. That's true. I find that when I have, yeah, like, when I have all of my guests are very spiritual, and a lot of times there is like an energetic disruption with
Mhm.
electronics or the Wi-Fi or something
Yep.
strange is happening. And so now here's proof in the pudding. We're seeing this happening
Yeah.
right here. So I think it's really interesting, pretty exciting to see. But so you have become a super creative person. You're just a talented artist in so
I
many
collect
different
bits.
aspects. You're a photographer, you're a musician, and you are kind of a metaphysician with the tuning forks.
Yeah,
Um, do you think that those skills have developed as a result of your near-death experience?
absolutely. I've always been told I'm an old soul. I guess born born that way. Post accident, I was 5 when the accident happened, and we just didn't really talk about it. So I was always the shy, quiet kid who always stood in the back corner of the room. I was labeled neurodiverse. Hey, they want to medicate everybody who is not normal or think wildly and eccentrically. And thank goodness my parents did not medicate, but let me really express myself in the arts. I have always oozed out of every medium, every way I could build, create, mold. Um, Ever since I was a kid, I have to be able to build. It just comes naturally. Without even thinking about it. I say I'm like a MacGyver and a Mary Poppins, but a little bit on steroid crack because, it's everything is big. Let's go big and put glitter to it and blah.
I like that. I like your big personality and you seem very outgoing and I think that helps you probably with your art. So you're not afraid to express yourself.
Sure. Yes. Well, and that's taken a lot of convincing and confidence building on my end to be able to step out more. And that's has slowly evolved just recently over the years. I've been pretty quiet. I put my hat on. I joke because I wear a lot of different hats, and I truly, when I go out in public, I do hide behind many different hats. Um, just because I feel like that's my way of expressing this is who I want to be today, and behind this hat is here, and today is this hat. Um, I can't decide what I want to be or do when I grow up. So we'll just do it all.
You seem very happy, so you're doing something right.
Good. Yay. It took me a long time to find my happy. A long time. It's been a long uphill battle, both ways. Um, so now that I have it and I feel like, ooh, I'm finally coming into myself and I'm ready to go, yes, this is what we have. This is what we're working with. Let's do this. There's no stopping us now. I've been asleep for 37 years. Let's do this.
Before your near death experience when you were 5, did you feel like you lived a more normal life and then this near death experience kind of changed everything for you?
Ooh, that's a hard one. um, I was 5. I would say I grew up in a very normal house. I had a very nuclear mom and dad, brother, sibling, one brother. Um, we did normal things, the normal family Friday night movies. We went skiing still. We did camping. Very normal. Um, it was the after the accident, just it wasn't normal. Nothing was normal. To me, nothing made sense anymore, you know? Um, I never understood why we do half of the things that we do. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. There's something bigger, like, we should be doing more than what we're doing right now. I don't know. I always think bigger, if you will. I have this way of going real macro. I can think real big, and then I like to go into the real micro fine detail, and now let's fine tune something. And if that doesn't work to go like this, let's try the other way. Let's go big. Oh, that's okay. Let's bring it back. Um, I guess that's kind of when I have to make a decision on anything. I'm one of those that you give me 3 days to think. Okay, I need to think this one through. I got to think about this, about 25 different paths that we could go, and what's the least resistance for me. um, yeah, I joke. I have an art journal. I call it my life book, and it's just a black journal with blank pages. But every day I put stuff in there, and I don't. really know what I put in there until after I look back and go, oh, that's what's there. Okay. Um, the whole month of January this year, I sat and mandalaed my thoughts out, and we're talking full page spreads with just wild mandalas, because of, I must say, the energy that was coming in just recently. There's been a really cool shift coming through energetics wise. There's some cool planets lining up. Um, Man, how do we get to here? I'm a big astrology buff, if that's any indication. I think that my near death taught me to always look up. You're always looking up. I'm always looking at the stars. I'm getting lost in the moon. I think I've traveled to the dark side of the moon a few times just to see what's there. It's pretty dark. uh,
When you travel to the dark side of the moon, do you mean in an out of body experience?
I would say astro projecting, yes. So I have that ability to astro project. I can go anywhere. I've become a quantum jumper. Ooh, excuse me. I can go like across universal planes now. So a lot of my in a 24-hour period now, as I'm starting to settle into just this new, a new way of being, right? A new sense. Um, my 24-hour day looks like I start at 3 a.m. only because I feel like my spirit guides will start pulling at my hair. They say, "Hey, you got work to do. You need to get up. It's time. Wake up." So I get up and sometimes I just pace the house. I just walk. I do a little meditation, sleep walk through the living room and down the stairs and around the house. Other times I'll just go lay in my lazy boy and put my little headphones on attuned to certain frequencies and just kick back and chill. I watch the world go by every morning between 3 and 6:30, and then the sun comes up, and then we're ready to just kind of start a normal day. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how to. And then, as far as we'll go through daytime tasks, and then by nighttime, I have to go to bed before 11 or midnight because I'm back up again by 3 a.m. because everyone says it's time to work.
When you astral project, do you do it on purpose or is it something that just happens to you?
When I was a kid, post accident, I used to do a lot of flying. And I knew I'd fly to the East Coast and I'd fly over rocky terrains and oceans. And I mean, I did a lot of flying out of body, well, while I was sleeping. So I got to practice that. Um, Now it's more intentional. Before I go to bed, I'll let my guides know, if there's something that's weighing on my heart that I need to see, or maybe show me a different perspective. A lot of just show me a different perspective. What am I missing on this? And they'll just take me there, and off we go. And then I kind of, I don't think about it anymore. We're just there.
Did you make a connection with your guides during your near death experience or is that something you've always had?
I would have to say it was probably maybe that male figure could have been my spirit guide. I have many guides that I work with. I talk to all the angels. I'll call them in as we need them. I'm a huge sacred geometry, so using the signs and symbols and using them to bring in frequencies as we need things and help. Um, I must say, I feel like I've always been in touch with my guides. Whether or not I have listened to them, probably not. they were very powerful in directing me and keeping me alive to this point because I'm pretty sure there's a few times I probably should have died between even after my accident. Somehow we've made it to this point, and now I understand. I'm in this understanding. Okay, I know which way I need to navigate moving forward, and I'm just kind of listening. Where to next? I don't know.
Do you feel like you have a purpose here since you were sent back?
Yes. Yes. I think the purpose is just to show everybody it's okay to be happy. It's okay to be silly. Um, Actually, I'm right now in this is that funny phase that I'm in, as I'm kickstarting a program for kids. It's called My Little Blue Traveling STEAM School. And the STEAM school is, it's your typical STEM, science, tech, engineering. The STEAM comes from the art, and then the M is your math. So it's small groups, and we're going to come together and we're just going to be kids. Let's learn like kids, but let's try new concepts. The group is really tailored to what I call group speak. So I don't know really how this is going to pan out until we get the group together and we start pulling together our ideas and just building that steam to see where they want to go. But I'm going to say the ultimate driving force for this is I want to build these little entrepreneurs, right? I want kids to be able to think for themselves. I want them to find a missing need in a community, and I want them to see it. Let's go get it. Let's go do it. What's stopping us? Nothing. We're going to leave an impact. And just be that spark for kids to know, hey, it's okay to be neurodiverse, because the neurodiversity is the adversity that we need to be the change makers on this earth. I can't speak even like strongly enough on that. I have a very neurodiverse family, and just listening to them and giving them that chance to.
That's beautiful because there's so many different styles, different types of people, styles of learning that they resonate better with, and to teach people that they don't have to follow the system, that they can be entrepreneurs. There's not many people doing that, and that's really what our children will thrive off of if that is their calling. I think that when I was growing up and when you were growing up, no one told us we could be entrepreneurs or that we could do our thing. We just were supposed to go to college and get a good job, and that's
Here's a
perfect.
box.
That's
Here's our box.
it works out well for some people, but then there's the other people that it doesn't work out well for and they wander aimlessly. And so what you're doing is amazing. And again, I thank you for doing that too, for supporting children and planting those seeds of self-worthiness and that they can do anything that they want.
This one comes from my mama heart. I watched many, many years from the sidelines, and I've watched my children struggle in a system that is not built for them. My kids have all been pulled from public schools, and they're all coming to their own in their own way, and maybe not as fast as everybody wants them to, but they got themselves, and they're learning, and it's amazing. It's amazing to watch as a parent, to watch them find their own traction in their way, and not me forcing them or pushing them or saying, you have to do this. I think I, I must say, I wish that more people would adapt into that mindset, because the box sometimes doesn't work for everybody, right? We're not all box people. And you're right, there's so many different ways of thinking and doing, and just so not everybody learns the same way, and I'm a huge advocate. I get it. My kids are not, they can't sit and learn. We have to be up and engage and dance. So that's part of the Blue Steam School, is giving them that space to get up and move and shake it, but what comes of it is going to be the cool part.
Your near-death experience really has shaped your life in ways that uh, maybe you haven't even discovered yet.
Have it honestly, I'm at this such a cool crux in my journey. Things are just unfolding in, I'm gonna say, miraculous trajectories. Like, I can't even explain. I can't. Wow. Amazing. The universe is magic. You have to trust the process, learn to surrender, because when you go against that, that's going against your spirit, and that's not the way we were supposed to go. That's part of the learning process. um, I can say I've been to lots of astrology readers and stuff, and everybody will pull my charts and say, yes, this is a cool time in your life. And I am holding on to that, because the more I look back at my different life books and journalings that I've done, I just go, wow, cool. And to see all the different things I've created, the business from the photography to pushing through, it's still persevering and pushing through while my whole life was falling apart, to finding music again, to, now I'm on to being able to outreach to kids. And I think, we said soul purpose and what's your calling, working with other people and helping people understand, I think, is kind of part of my trajectory and where I'm going with all of this. I like to say I'm like a rainbow bridge between the metaphysical and the 3D reality and what we know. Um, I've really gone through a lot of healing. I'm still obviously I'm still going through a lot more. There's lots of changes, and as I process through more, I learn more. Ooh, there's a new skill. Hey, a new hat. I might get a new hat. It really is fun to see, like, whoa, this is a byproduct of my life. Would it have happened the way it has happened without the accident? I don't know because I don't know any other way. I look at when we come to Earth, we plan everything out ahead of time. Apparently we make this agreement up in heaven before we even come down. And so I'm just starting to slowly embrace. Okay, something happened that was big, and it's not normal, and it's okay to talk about, because we can be weird. I'm okay now saying yes. I'm okay being weird. I like being me, because it's funky and it's spicy, and I'm a variety show sometimes. Um, I don't know. I just want everybody to find they're happy because Earth is not supposed to be as miserable as we make it out to be.
I find you very inspirational.
Mm.
For one, you're very happy and you want to spread that happiness. But for two, is that you're open about sharing that it took a long time for you to face your near death experience and integrate that into your life. And I think a lot of people who've had spiritually transformative experience, whether it's a near death experience or an out of body experience or just something happened, um, they feel sometimes the pressure to hurry up and understand, hurry up and integrate this into your life. This was given to you as a gift, and you better figure out why. And sometimes it takes a long time, like it took for you. And thank you. That's
Mhm.
an inspiration to me, and I'm sure to many others as well, that it happens and it unfolds in its own time.
I'm going to say divine timing, that divine timing. On the other side of the veil, time looks like this. It's like spaghetti. There is no time. And when you cross back over to here, it's flat. I mean, it's flat, on straight trajectory here. It's pretty wild. I've got all sorts of cool drawings to really be able to describe what does time look like and kind of where we're at in the grand scheme of things. Um, I like to be able to, like I said, bring visuals to people so that you can understand what happened there and how does that happen here. I don't know.
Are those visuals available anywhere on the internet where my viewers can go and take a look?
Not yet. Um, I Part of I'm gonna say my springboard trajectory right here is putting a lot of pieces together really fast. I hope to have a book. I must say it's going to be a self-guided help book to just healing PTSD in general. Because everybody has PTSD. I don't care if you're a part of the U.S. system or just a system, you got PTSD. Let's heal that. Um, I think getting people more in touch to feelings, because you might say you're not a feeler. Well, everybody's a feeler. We're all walking transistor radios. Yeah. Are you turned down? Are you on mute? Should we turn you up a little? I want everybody to feel, because I think that's the part of being alive. When you get to I feel blessed in that I get that hypersensory technicolor life. I walk outside and go, wow, this is like a kid playground. I don't know. It's amazing. Uh, again, it's overstimulating most of the time, and I have to really calm myself. Otherwise, I get myself a little frazzle tits. Can I say that? Just overstimulate it, and then I get crabby and ornery, and you don't want that. So trying to maintain that happy state is a constant upkeep and constantly trying to just maintain that.
And if my viewers wanted to reach out to you, if they had questions for you, or maybe they wanted to hire you, uh, I know you're a photographer, you're an amazing musician. How would they find you?
Yeah, thank you. Well, I can be found under Telestory Photography. It's a Midwest-based company, but we travel all over. We have a big camper and we load up the kids and we'll come wherever we have to go. For weddings primarily, but I'm not opposed to traveling for families too. Um, we love my kids love that aspect is that we like to explore, get out and go. So Telestory Photography, it is all one word. And then Rusty Cello Yellow Chair is our musical endeavor. We call ourselves a frequency attuned musical duo. We like to jam out to classic rocks that'll take you across all the genres.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to check that out. It sounds very interesting.
That one's still slow. Again, we're a little bit slow to start, so the videos that are online for that are of the COVID era. Sorry. Probably not my favorite, but we're working on getting some better quality videos and new tunes put up. So we have about a 3 hour set list when we do get out to play. So it's kind of a little bit of every genre, every style. It's a lot of fun.
What last words of wisdom do you have for my viewers?
Mm, you know, let stuff go because sometimes in the grand scheme of it, it's not that big of a deal. I always say take a deep breath, release, stomp your feet a little, shake your head off, and then keep moving. Sometimes a little bit of laughter is a good way. It's a little, I'm going to say, a little dose of medicine. If you laugh all day long, you'll also find yourself happy.
This is very true and amazing words of wisdom. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
thank you for being my guest and sharing your story. It is so appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.